Hi everyone, so today we are getting to know Professor Gyu Tag Lee. He is a professor here based in Korea for how long exactly?
Since 2014 when
Wow.
this college actually opened.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, right.
So you really have been here since the beginning.
Yeah, right, sure. There are
Okay.
only like very few professors who like started their career here from the very beginning till present.
Right. What is your degree?
I got my master's Department of Communication from Seoul National University and got my PhD from Mason Fairfax, from the Department of Cultural Studies.
Oh, okay. So is this how you kind of learned about Mason Korea or started wanting to work here?
Actually, when I was a PhD candidate in 2012, there was a kind of project going on, like making other campus at Songdo. So I also was involved as a kind of research assistant of the project. So I came to know the campus would open soon here in my South Korea, which is my home country. So.
Right. What is your main goal for your classes this semester?
This semester still we have our class only like via online, so it is not really easy to communicate with the students. So I would like to, although there's a kind of certain limitations, but I try to make like more great relationship or close relationship with students who may feel certain kind of like distance from college, from professor, or from their classes.
I think that's definitely something that people are struggling with right now. So.
Right.
What is one event that you have participated in this semester that you enjoyed the most or that stood out to you the most?
Actually, I had a kind of talk with a professor from Fairfax, kind of joint talk with her. Like it was like the very first day of the October. It's about like globalization K-pop thing.
Right.
So I had a talk with her, and it was very interesting, like to get to know the professor studying all the very similar thing with me, and also there were many students as well as professors and staffs who had an interest in this like current situation of the K-pop, what is going on in with K-pop and not only in Korea but all over the country. So yeah, it was a very interesting experience.
Actually, I didn't get to go, but I had a lot of friends who were able to, and they loved that one.
Oh, really?
They were really excited about that one.
It's great to hear that.
Even one of my friends, she was in class, but she had both of them so she could listen because she really wanted
really?
to. Yeah.
She got 2 Zoom sessions?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, she was that excited.
All right.
What is your best study tip for students?
I know it is not easy, and I know that you may not feel like that, but many students. Actually, when I was a college student, I also did the very same thing with many of the current students. When there is an exam or there is an assignment, I did not do all the thing until the very deadline,
Right.
and I stayed all night or something to like finish all the work, the assignment. Usually, professor give the assignment with like a week or 2 weeks or something, even longer like period for you to do that, right? But I didn't do that actually when I was a student. But it might not be really actually a great thing. When I become professor, I come to know that I shouldn't have not done like that, right? So I should do something regularly for a day to complete all the like studies or preparing the exam or writing some assignment, not to stay overnight, not really good for my health. And,
Right.
I could not concentrate on the class when I stayed all night.
Right.
I was so tired. I understand that all the students are doing that. I also did that, but as a professor, I recommend you to do your work regularly every day, except for weekends or holidays.
Okay. I definitely also have done this. I understand.
Right.
What has been the hardest challenge you've faced as a professor?
I'm not a native English speaker, and it means that of course I can communicate with students with English. It is not a big issue, but the real issue is that there is a kind of cultural, differences between students from like United States or students from other countries, or even with the Korean student, there is a kind of cultural difference because of age difference, generation gap kind of thing. I can feel that these days. So I try to understand the student from different parts of the world, or student in like their early 20s, just really different from my cultural background. But still, that is one of the hardest things that I face to understand them in my classes. Although the relationship between professor and student might not be equal, you know.
Right.
Students should follow what they are told by the student, and
Right.
professor should ask student to do something, of course for their future and for their career or something. But in these kinds of relationship, I'm always kind of thinking that I do not really want to do, not too strict, really try to control them, or not really forcing them to do that, but try to make them feel that they should do that on their own will, not by like professors asking or something, you know.
I see. Do you have any exciting future plans as professor?
I actually am waiting for this COVID issue. Maybe
Right.
not really gone, but maybe we can do something more. You may have heard the news that there is kind of like
Yes.
policy changes in South Korea. As an anthropology professor, I should try to do some more, you know, field work or
right.
excursions with the student to visit many places. Maybe some places of Incheon or some places of the Seoul.
Oh, that would be really
Yeah.
interesting.
Actually, last semesters, even until 2019,
Yeah.
I always had a kind of like excursion every semester to visit sometimes all the palaces, or sometimes the like museum of the Korean contemporary history, or to visit other places in nearby Incheon area as well. It was a great experience, and I actually expect to do that next year or so.
That would be amazing. Because I had to do the field work from last semester.
Oh, okay.
I actually did like the project, but because I got to talk to like people in interview. But oh my gosh, if it was the full like excursion and everything, I think I would love that. I hope that happens then. Do you have any advice to give your students?
I know that many of you are in your early 20s, right? And some of you may have like kind of like very clear understanding, or like, I mean, the big hope about the future. But many of the students, as far as I can see, they do not exactly know what they should do or what they can do after graduation or for their career. So in these college years, I strongly recommend students to do almost everything that you can do. I mean, maybe you may not exactly know what your interests are, or what competence you have about which fields. You may not exactly know. So to know about that, the best way I think is to experience all the things in different fields. If you are interested in media, for example, try to do something as a kind of YouTuber, or you can do like kind of the internship with the cable TV network or even radio station, to do something as possible as you can.
What classes do you teach?
This semester I'm teaching Music 102, which is popular music in the United States, and Anthropology 399, which is cross-registered with Korea 320, K-pop, Hallyu, and Korean culture. And the third one is media criticism, which is the communication
really?
380. Yeah.
Whoa. How have you felt regarding COVID in your classes during this time?
Actually, I expected that I could have at least hybrid class this semester. Half of the class would go online, while the other half would go like offline, but we cannot do that. So I know that there are some advantages to have the class online, you know. You may know about the advantages, but still, it is not really great not to choose either of them, but only to do classes only on going online, rather than like, the other option, you know, without any other option. Next semester, maybe.
Hopefully.
Maybe, right, hopefully.
I agree. I think it's nice to not have to wake up early.
Yeah, right, true.
But as like the year goes on, it's harder to find motivation.
Right, true.
For especially with online classes.
Right,
So I totally understand. Okay. Thank you so much. So this is our first interview. This is the info session, and we're gonna do another one after. So please stay tuned. Bye.